come to give you what you love. It's time to give you what you love. I'ma give you what you love. Give you what you love. I am sharper than a switchblade, first and last of what God made, and that's the truth. But man, keep on trying to hold me back while another chicken head come on to lose. Too strong, try to do me wrong.
Welcome to the source. Lord have mercy, we are so far behind schedule. Jesus wept. If you are just joining us, you are listening to the source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on wordradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. If you are hearing the sound of my voice, I am Andrea Lawful Sanders, and I am your host on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Listen, City Council was wrapping up today, getting all their resolutions out of the way, street namings, all of that good stuff, and so they ran from 10 this morning until 3 this afternoon. And sometimes we got to just let city business do what it does, right? So, but there's something that I want to say to you before we have to go back to a break again because we have to pay the bills. Two things stood out for me today was that they approved a resolution naming the 1800 block of Wharton Street to Walter P. Lomax Jr., MD, calling it the Walter P. Lomax Jr., MD Way, to recognize and honor Dr. Lomax for his leadership, dedication, philanthropy, and support of Black Philadelphians. Could not have gone to a nicer human being. We'll talk about that at another time because we're running a little bit late. Well, we're running way behind schedule, so I had to cancel all my guests so we can talk a little bit about it. Let me, and then the other thing that they did, resolution number 200692, where City Council President Clark this morning introduced a resolution honoring the life of Joey Temple. So for those of you who don't listen to the City Council meetings, I want to make you aware that they introduced a resolution honoring the life of Joey Temple, and they voted on it at the very end of today's council session. Let me quickly go over to here and take a good look at it. I'm going to read a little bit of the resolution for you, and then we'll take another break, and then I'll come back and talk about some other things. Whereas, born in South Philadelphia, this is about Walter P. Lomax Jr., MD Way. Whereas, born in South Philadelphia in 1932, Dr. Walter P. Lomax Jr. exhibited academic excellence from a young age. He graduated from LaSalle University and Drexel School of Medicine, then Hahnemann Medical College, before beginning a solo medical practice in the same South Philadelphia neighborhood where he had grown up. He practiced at that site for 32 consecutive years, and whereas over the years he grew his practice into a multi-site group practice consisting of 22 physicians. He was affiliated with Pennsylvania Hospital and Graduate Hospital, and also served on the faculty of the University of Pennsylvania's School of Medicine. And whereas in 1982, Dr. Lomax established Lomax Health Systems Incorporated, a management company concentrating exclusively on healthcare. In 1984, LHS won a medical services contract to recruit physicians and physician assistants to supplement the City of Philadelphia staff in the prison system. In 1990, Correctional Healthcare Solutions Incorporated was incorporated to specialize in the management and delivery of health services to correctional facilities. CHS emerged as a major participant in this industry, offering quality care while containing costs. When it was sold in October of 2000, CSH was providing health care in 60 correctional facilities in 16 states, and whereas in 1989, LHS joined forces with a firm in Virginia to form Healthcare Management Alternatives Incorporated. Where am I? HMA successfully won a Pennsylvania Department of Welfare contract, Health Pass to provide health care to Medicaid recipients in South and West Philadelphia. From HMA's success in Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey, HMO licenses were issued in each of those states. In 1995, AmeriChoice was formed as a holding company for the 3 states' HMOs and was eventually sold to United Health Group Company. And whereas in 2003, Dr. Lomax formed the Lomax Family Foundation and served as its chairman. The Lomax Family Foundation provided funding for eligible nonprofit organizations and programs that promotes art and culture, health and wellness, education, and philanthropy in the African American community. The Lomax Family Foundation has had a significant impact on the Philadelphia region, not only because of the size of the financial support it offers to many programs and organizations, but as one of the few African American grantor foundations in the area. And whereas Dr. Lomax also served as chairman, I want to make sure, of the Lomax Companies, an investment office which manages a global portfolio of private equity investments with particular emphasis on technology, communication, and real estate. One of his most passionate business ventures was WURD Radio, LLC, which he acquired in 2002. WURD is the only African-American-owned radio station in Pennsylvania and has changed the media landscape in the region. And so they went on and on and on. I have to take another break, but I got to tell you, resolved at the end that the Council of the City of Philadelphia also names the 1800 block off Wharton Street, Walter P. Lomax Jr. M.D. Way, to recognize, honor, and celebrate Dr. Walter P. Lomax Jr. for his leadership, dedication, philanthropy, and support of Black Philadelphians. You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. If you are hearing the sound of my voice, I am Andrea Lawful Sanders, and we will be right back after these messages.
Jobs, entrepreneurship opportunities, small business resources, and financial literacy. Livelihood. The new initiative from WURD Radio to connect Philadelphians to resources to help take the next steps in their professional lives. WordWorks.com features career readiness tools, entrepreneurship resources, funding opportunities, and events to expand your livelihood. Visit WURDworks.com right now and take the next step in your professional journey. Livelihood is supported by the Nightland Fest's Local News Transformation Fund, Borealis Philanthropies Racial Equity and Journalism Fund, and the Solutions Journalism Network. Want to buy black for the holidays? WURD Radio has got you covered. WURD is proud to present our virtual holiday marketplace online. Support local, small, Black-owned businesses through the marketplace and purchase your holiday gifts today. Visit WURDradio.com/marketplace or WURDworks.com/marketplace. He's back.
This is Reverend Al Sharpton.
Keeping it real with the Reverend Al Sharpton.
In times like these, we have to stay connected.
At a brand new time, Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. till midnight.
I'm excited that Keeping It Real returns to WURD.
Keeping it real with the Reverend Al Sharpton. Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. till midnight. This program is pre-recorded. No phone calls, please.
Keep it locked to WURD 96.1 FM, 900 AM, WURDradio.com.
Have you heard about City Council's plan to build more affordable housing, repair existing homes, create jobs, and support small business? The Neighborhood Preservation Initiative will invest $400 million in Philly communities. Read about it at www.phlcouncil.com/NPI.
Livelihood. The new initiative from WURD Radio, connecting Philadelphians to jobs, entrepreneurship opportunities, small business resources, and financial literacy. Visit WURDworks.com right now and take the next step in your professional journey. Livelihood is supported by the Nightland Fest's Local News Transformation Fund, Borealis Philanthropies Racial Equity and Journalism Fund, and the Solutions Journalism Network. Dietz & Watson has been making premium meats and artisan cheeses for over 80 years. And when it comes to stacking sandwiches and party platters, they've got something for everyone in the family, like maple honey turkey breast, American cheese, buffalo chicken, and more. So get to your local deli and taste 4 generations of family recipes. With Dietz & Watson on the table, you'll have everyone coming back for seconds and thirds. Dietz & Watson, it's a family thing since 1939.
Seniors, does your doctor regularly reach out to check on you? Can you walk into your doctor's office and see them if you need to? Do you have your doctor's cell phone number and can you call them anytime, day or night? At Dedicated Senior Medical Center, their only specialty is caring for seniors. Dedicated makes it easy to get the primary care you deserve. Doctors spend more time with patients than the doctors you may be used to. They offer telehealth visits, help you get your medications, and even make sure you get to your appointments. If your doctor isn't treating you like family, it's time to say yes to Dedicated Senior Medical Center. Call Dedicated Senior Medical Center today to schedule a visit and find out what you're missing. Call 267-443-1900. That's 267-443-1900. Appointments are available now.
A holiday message to help us all and answer an important question.
We will never know how many of our friends and family members didn't get COVID-19 because we followed safeguards. We'll never know that number. This is Dan Hilferty, CEO of Independence Blue Cross, with a simple reminder of how much good we do for others when we protect ourselves. We'll never know how many lives we save because we wear masks, wash our hands frequently, and keep social distance. We'll never know exactly who we help, who we save when we take protective steps each day. We'll only know one thing for certain, that we did all we could to save people from the effects of a pandemic with the potential to overwhelm the region. And that's a nice thing for us to live with. Thank you all. For more on what you can do, visit ibx.com. Together, we are beating COVID-19.
In Pennsylvania, it's now illegal to sell tobacco products, including cigarettes, cigars, chewing tobacco, vapes, or electronic cigarettes to anyone under 21. Stores can get fined up to $1,000 for selling tobacco to someone who is underage. Know the law. Check IDs. Post your retailer license. Make sure only employees have access to tobacco products, and only sell tobacco products to customers aged 21 and older. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio. Streaming live on WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Welcome back to The Source. Before I take Maurice from North Philly and Miss Mary from Mount Airy, let me read something to you all and talk to you about something that is very important to me. Pennsylvania reports its deadliest COVID-19 day. New measures may be coming. In Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. This was written by, I can't see. Oh, The Patch. Pennsylvania reported a record number of new coronavirus deaths yesterday, making it the deadliest day of the pandemic, according to state data. The developments come as officials have warned that more mitigation measures could be underway very soon. The state's death toll rose to 11,762 yesterday as 220 new deaths were reported. It was the highest single-day death increase since April 25th, when 184 deaths were reported. Cases are still rising rapidly. There were 703 additional cases reported Wednesday, bringing the total to 445,317. Of those, only, listen to me, 58% of those 445,000 have recovered. So either the others have died or are having crazy long-term effects that we can't even talk about. As of yesterday morning, there were 5,561 people hospitalized with COVID-19 in Pennsylvania. Of that number, 1,160 patients are in the intensive care unit. The trend in the 14-day moving average of number of hospitalized patients per day has increased by nearly 4,300 since the end of September. That's 2 months ago. Now, let me tell you why I'm saying this. On Tuesday, when I was on the air, I fielded some phone calls from listeners who were just very concerned about the vaccine, what it meant for us, that Black people cannot trust the process here. And listen, they were valid, right? We have too much in our history that speaks about what we've had to deal with when it comes to healthcare. And on top of that, in modern day times, as of this modern day times, we still go to the doctor or to the hospital and are pretty much feeling unheard by medical people. There needs to be training of medical professionals and staff, I'm telling you, because they don't take our concerns seriously. And then on top of that, we don't participate in clinical trials for the other two reasons that I just spoke of, right? So a friend of mine who was in the medical field sent me a YouTube video that was recently done of a well-regarded group of Black doctors, epidemiologists, etc. And they had a 1-hour meeting with Dr. Anthony Fauci. Here are some of the things that came out of that meeting. And I tell you, I was exercising and listening to this whole thing, then got in my car and kept listening, right? Because I wanted to be able to bring you good information. A Black doctor by the name of Kizzy helped to create one of those vaccines that are floating around out there now. If you already had the virus, you should still take the vaccine because the antibodies won't last forever. Dr. Fauci said it could last for a couple of weeks. They've seen people where it lasted for 90 days, and then they got the virus again. Some people who had it for 3 months, some people who have had it for a little bit longer, but the antibodies are not lasting forever. He said, should you take the vaccine, you must still wear a mask and socially distance yourself because you can still be an asymptomatic carrier of the virus. So in other words, the virus would still come towards you, but because you're vaccinated, you won't feel sick and nothing will happen to you. But because you're a carrier, if you don't wear your mask and if you don't social distance and if you don't wash your hands, you can give the virus again to anybody who is around you, right? He says if you have comorbidities like diabetes, you can take the vaccine. 70,000 people between the two clinical trials were a part of this, the Moderna and the Pfizer trials. Some of those people had diabetes and other comorbidities. They took the vaccine and they were fine. According to Dr. Fauci, in the next week or so, over 20 million people will be tested for the, I'm sorry, not tested, but will be given the vaccine, and they'll have more data to show how effective it is, right? He says, what else did he say? He said children and pregnant women are not eligible for this vaccine right now. They have to wait until they've given it to quite a few adults and to make sure that the adults deal with it well. He said people report the side effects from the vaccine. People report a little soreness in their arm where they get the vaccine, feeling a little bit tired, but it doesn't last for long. And some had a fever that went away within 24 to 36 hours. So there's no long-term effects from it that they can see. The vaccine, you get 2 shots of it, one, and then so I think 30 days later you get another dose. All right, so I took all of this down. He says you cannot get the vaccine if you're actively fighting the virus, but after the virus is out of, you finish fighting the virus. He also said this: it is going to be a dark winter for America because the vaccine alone will not work with such a surge. We're in the middle of a surge right now, and people must stay indoors as much as possible, must not have people in their home that they do not live with. And now we're seeing, there's an article that I read, I just want to make sure that I found it, in South Korea, where a study is showing that even if you're home and 20 feet away from each other, you can still get the virus. So there's a lot going on that we still don't know about, and I want us to remain aware and engaged in the process. All right, Maurice from North Philly, how are you, sir?
Are you talking to me, mother?
It's South Philly, Maurice. He said North Philly. See, I'm not. How you doing,
said North Philly twice.
I sure did, because he said
you trying to insult me?
Listen, you can blame Michael, and I'm throwing him under the bus. He said Maurice North Philly.
All right, look, mother.
How are you, honey?
Mother, I'm very upset because after watching that minstrel show that came on before you, it was a disgrace. We've been bamboozled. Plymouth Rock has definitely landed on the back of our heads. No other station is playing that commercial about that tax thing. that thing, that nonsense they're talking about. It is not there to help black people. Please understand, when has this city council ever helped black people? Stop falling for the okie doke. 90% of the people that called in, that gave their voice on this bill, didn't like it, didn't want it. So I don't know what is going on.
Right. And they passed the bill?
Yes, they pushed that thing through, and they at the end they did the usual round of shout-outs. Jones, Johnson, Parker, and Clark all got to give their shout-outs at the end every time they go on vacation. What are they thinking? Why are we standing there with nothing in our hand and set up like this? $400 million. First of all, let me ask you one question, Mother. Where is the money going? You know it's going to the building trades. They're the ones that got to build the buildings. They're the ones that got to do the work. You can't do no work in Philadelphia unless you go through the building trades. You can't do a thing. And then they don't hire black people. So where's all that money going? Our tax dollars going. And once they do get those houses built, affordable housing, the city council thinks it's $240,000. If you're making $7.25, you can't
afford a $240,000 house.
Of course not. And wait a minute. And they got a bill up there, something about you can make up to to get in that program $81,000. $7.25 don't get you no $81,000.
And $7.25 says you can't afford a $240,000 house anyway. So let's say you're only making $25,000, $15,000 a year. How can you afford that $240,000 house? How are they supplementing that?
It don't add up. This is what I'm saying. City council is so bold that they can lie in front of your face and with a straight face and listen to all your complaints and have that concern, look, we're going to handle this. And then when they come back from vacation, the bill is set up, and then there's another $400 million we, the taxpayer, got to pay back. And here's the worst part. The people that live here now will never benefit from that because we can't afford the taxes and we're out of the city. It just makes sense. I'm not a college student. I'm a 12th grade. I can understand that. Oh, my God. I wanted to scream. But it's nothing we can do because they got us set up. And it's sad. It's sad. They put a few minstrel guys in there that say, oh, I like that bill. I like that. But they're not in the tax bracket. They living somewhere else. Please, people, understand we just been ripped off big time. And I want to cry, but the crying ain't going to help. So, Mother, you go in and handle the show. But this is a sad day. It's no Christmas for me. Okay. No Christmas at all.
So what I'm going to do is look into this. I'm going to dig into it a little bit deeply. I have to confess that I did not listen to City Council Live because I was literally over here preparing for when I would go live, right? It's a lot. But I keep hearing about this $400 million, and I'm wondering if that's what Miss Mary is coming on to talk about. So, did they pass it, or are they coming back to? Was it just a resolution?
No. This thing was approved before they even told us about it. When you put a bill together in the middle of the night, that means you don't want us to know what you're doing. You understand that? If they really wanted to they would have laid that out there. They would have had us come in, talk about it. No, they just told us what they're going to do and claim all these benefits we're going to get. But, every time we have an election, the city borrows bond money. They've been borrowing for the last 10 years, borrowing money. When it is intend on paying it back. Our grandchildren won't even be able to pay it back because they won't live in Philadelphia.
Okay, Mother is on the case. I'm going to dig in. and pay attention and start asking some questions and doing my own research so that I can be more educated about it because I suspect more people are going to call in. Thank you so much, Maurice. Michael, tell Miss Mary to hold on for me, please, because I don't want to have to cut her off because we're at another break again. You are listening to The Source, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, streaming live on WURDradio.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at onWURD. 215-634-8065 is the number to call in. We will be right back after these messages.
Have you heard about City Council's plan to build more affordable housing, repair existing homes, create jobs, and support small business? The Neighborhood Preservation Initiative will invest $400 million in Philly communities. Read about it at www.phlcouncil.com/NPI.
Step by Step Home Care Professionals is one of Philadelphia's fastest growing Black-owned home care employers, and they are hiring. If you are a caring, nurturing, and compassionate person who enjoys helping people in need, Step by Step Home Care Professionals is looking to hire you. Go to sbshome.care to complete an employment application. That's sbshome.care or call 610-321-3108 for more information and ask for Monet. Step by Step Home Care Professionals is hiring today.
Every day, 47.9 million family caregivers perform labors of love by helping their parents and spouses. Family caregivers help their older loved ones with medications, medical care, meals, bathing, dressing, and much more. While they wouldn't have it any other way, they need some support. AARP has information and online communities to help support caregivers. Learn more at aarp.org/caregiving.
Have you heard about City Council's plan to build more affordable housing, repair existing homes, create jobs, and support small business? The Neighborhood Preservation Initiative will invest $400 million in Philly communities. Read about it at www.phlcouncil.com/NPI.
Want the latest in Word swag? Check out the shop tab on WURDradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. The shop tab on WURDradio.com. Show the world that you're all about black. Talk Media. 1 month, 25 bold ideas. A more just, equitable, and prosperous Philadelphia. Join speakers like Reverend Michael Eric Dyson, MSNBC anchor Ali Velshi, LAPD Sergeant-turned-police reformer Cheryl Dorsey, author and poverty fighter Wes Moore, Black Thought of the Roots, and Word's own Charles Ellison for the Philadelphia Citizens' 3rd Annual Ideas We Should Steal Festival. Presented by Comcast NBC Universal, Tuesdays throughout December. Find out more and reserve your spot at thephiladelphiacitizen.org/Ideas We Should Steal Festival. For Word members, check your email for discounts and complimentary access details.
What's up, Philly? It's Solomon Jones. The school year is underway, but never before has that experience come in so many shapes and sizes. Is the education of your child being left to a smattering of clumsy, in-person, and virtual instruction? The COVID-19 crisis has created a market for untested virtual teaching models lacking true credibility. Maybe it's time to reconsider and check out Commonwealth Charter Academy. Here are the benefits to your family. 1. An online education provided at no cost to you, complete with laptop, headset, and help with internet access. 2. Partnership with the market leader in cyber education with a nearly 20-year track record of world-class learning. 3. Delivery of a safe, reliable, and comfortable education experience over the internet directly to the confines of your living room. Visit ccaeducate.me today and discover the gold standard of cyber education. That's ccaeducate.me.
At PICO, we know one thing is certain. Times have changed. From kitchen classrooms to couch conference calls, searching for a new job, or new ways to keep your family connected. These changes have become a part of our reality. That's why our teams are working 24/7 to meet the needs of our communities. So no matter how much things change, you can depend on PICO to be there with the energy and help you need to power through. Learn more at pico.com.
The Word Radio newsletter, keeping you informed, engaged, and connected. connected. Sign up by visiting wordradio.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page and type your email address under Connect with Us. You'll receive the latest information on WURD Radio, messages from our president and CEO, Sarah Lomax Reese, exclusive articles and multimedia content, and resources. Stay informed with the WURD Radio newsletter.
Come smile with Champion Dentistry, the house of smiles. Champion Dentistry has been helping to create, maintain, and accentuate healthy, beautiful smiles for over 30 years. Come have your teeth, gums, and smile checked out with the WURD Cleaning Special. Call now at 215-473-4717 to get your Champion smile, or visit them at 1170 North 63rd Street.
Have you heard about City Council's plan to build more affordable housing, repair existing homes, create jobs, and support small business? The Neighborhood Preservation Initiative will invest $400 million in Philly communities. Read about it at www.phlcouncil.com/NPI.
Man, this coronavirus has us all moving differently.
No doubt. Like washing our hands more and social distancing with the crew. I'm always telling people to give me 6 feet. We're here, Grandmom.
There's my babies. Good to see you got your mask on.
Wear mask. Stop the spread. For more information, visit www.pa.gov/COVID.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Looking for employment? JD's Auto Body and Painting is hiring. They have 2 positions if you have 5 years experience in auto body and framework. Also seeking painter with 5 years experience. And if you have experience as an A or B assembler, JD's Auto Body can be the place for you. Please call JD's Auto Body at 215-848-5949 or email jdsautobodyandpainting@comcast.net.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio. Streaming live on WURDRadio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Welcome back to The Source. I am looking at my Facebook Live, and it says, Joseph Simmons wrote, Mother, Black City Council in Black Philadelphia sold the people out again. $400 million bond on the back of the taxpayers. And then Sugar Phillips wrote this. Average working person working hard 5 days a week cannot afford those houses on Washington Avenue and next door to your home. They leave us behind. What happens to the soda and cigarette tax? I bought my own home in 1999 for $45,000 on a $30,000 salary. They don't want us to own anything, and city council members benefit from the tax abatement. That's why our own black leaders in there want that tax abatement. It's a lot. People are not happy. Kenrick said, good afternoon, Mother. Feeling Maurice's pain. Joseph shouldn't talk. Corrupt and racist as Florida is, clean up Miami, then you can talk about us up here. Lord, y'all are fighting between states. We can't do that right now. Can't fight between cities. Miss Mary, how are you, lady? What's going on?
Yes, good afternoon, Andrea.
Good afternoon.
You know, some of us got our property tax bill today, so you know that's our Christmas present from the city of Philadelphia. And to hear about that, they're going to continue to try to rip people off in this city. You know, I know what the problem is. We need to make sure that we end these corporation subsidies and welfare that we have been providing to them for over 50 years when they started that they was going to fight this war on poverty. The money is not getting to the people. And, you know, I was disappointed with President Obama because he stated every year that he was going to go line by line to eliminate this tax welfare that we've been providing to these corporations and businesses and to the politicians because they're attached to it, you know, and every year, I guess because he saw not only Republicans on this greed, it was also Democrats on it, you know, and until we start eliminating that, then we're going to continue to be in poverty. And we have intelligence agencies. We have 17 intelligence agencies in place looking at the information. You know, we know everything that these corporations are doing, the citizens in the countries are doing, the undocumented people. We know about them, you know, and we know who's paying the taxes, who's basically cheating people, not paying their taxes, and they're collecting subsidies. You know, we need to end this. And then I'm hearing about we give subsidies to these sports stadiums. You know, the Jeffrey Lauer gave some of these nonprofits money to fight crime in the city. You know, we just handed them money, subsidies in July, I think it was, and I was upset about that because middle of a pandemic, we have to pay these major corporations and stadiums and team owners our tax money, but yet we saw what they did to Kaepernick. You know what I mean? And to see this, that they think we owe this to them. You know, they're already millionaires. Some of them are trillionaires, and we provided trillions of tax dollars to fight the war on poverty for over 50 years. And look at the conditions of Philadelphia. So I want the people to know when we're fighting for to get money back, we have people looking at everything that they're doing. We have to start holding these intelligence agencies accountable, the state, the federal government, you know, because we saw what happened with Flint, where those people died in that city behind being poisoned based on the water situation. But yet we had every intelligence agency that's in place had that information. If we don't start holding the people accountable that's looking at these things, looking at that we're being cheated and dying in this country, then that's where we need to start. You know, because every last one that's been stealing from us from the past 50 years, they need to go to jail. Yes. I mean, it's nowhere in the world that Rendell could have walked off with $2 billion of our tax money and never held accountable for it. But yet we sat there and looked at it. Now I want every person that's listening to me, make sure that you get copies of this senator. He's passed away now, Senator Tom Corbin. Coburn. He did several books on waste, fraud, and abuse on the federal level. And he indicated in notes where you have those cases where they went and stole the money, but it was never prosecuted. It's no statutes of limitations on honest services fraud. We can hold every politician, every government agency, we can hold every bureaucrat, every business accountable from stealing from us. It's just that we have to have these intelligent agencies and these judges to do their job. That's the problem.
Thank you
so much. Make sure we do it on a national level, state level, and city level. Yes, and when President Trump said he was going to drain the swamp, he became the worst swamp leader. You know, these are the people that we're fighting against, and we got to make sure we get every last one of them out of office and prosecute them all. Thank you, and have a good day.
All right, you're welcome, Miss Mary. Okay, City Council done left everybody on fire today. What did y'all do? I'm gonna go now and go on City Council Live and look at their neighborhood preservation initiative, www.phlcouncil.com/MPI. Before I take George Orton, Lord, I got 1 minute. I've got 1 minute. Pennsylvania Cares 21 plan will provide relief for 500,000 jobless Pennsylvanians. State Democrats' proposal is to provide $350 a week to those on pandemic-related unemployment programs for 6 additional weeks. This came from Senator Vincent Hughes, who was a Democratic Appropriations Chair. I don't even have time to get into it, because let me give George the last 30 seconds before I have to get off the air. And George, I got 30 seconds before
it's
they
kick me off. It's going to be 30 seconds.
What's up?
Those Klondike bars that was in City Council, they should be ashamed of themselves. Sitting there selling them hopes and dreams, sitting up there talking about the rent stuff that they're going to, find a way. The city can't pay your rent. People who all believe it didn't pay their rent, listening to them. And believe me, those Klondike bars that's in there, most of them, not all of them, but we're going to do everything we can to get those Klondike bars out of there. This is the worst council that we ever had. All they do is talk. Name one thing that they did significantly. They sat there and put this $400 million. That's the biggest Ponzi it ever went. Watch a bunch of people go to jail behind that. Too much money to steal.
All right, you will call me back on Monday, right? Because listen to me, George. Call me back on Monday, because I got to get off the air, and there's a whole lot to discuss. City Council and let y'all. You too, honey.
City Council took up too much of your time. That's what it was.
You have a good one, sir. All right, listen. The source is now officially over. I couldn't get a guest in, couldn't do anything. All the commercials. City Council took up an additional 2 hours, and the folks are calling in, fussing at me, fussing with me about what City Council talked about. So I am literally going to have to get it together for the show on Monday. Coming up next is Evening Words with Nick Taliaferro. I am Andrea Lawful Sanders. Thank you for joining me for the 1 hour that I was on. I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.
You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on. You're listening to The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders on WURD Radio.